And British Prime Minister Keir Starmer just announced mandatory digital IDs. Take a look.
I know we don't have to. Well, first and foremost, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Racha, Hakvadash, double honors to the apostles and elders of the house of David. Salutations to you, brothers, throughout the four corners of the earth, teaching its truth and righteousness and sincerity. To you, Israelite foreigners, come back home to the truth. To those that passed on, serving the Lord, the dead in Yahweh Shai shall arise first. To you, sisters who believe, keep encouraging and supporting your brothers out here teaching his truth, and always commemorate the sister who washed Yahweh Shai feet. All right, what you about to see is something that's going on in England that's it's biblical prophecy. And he's gonna read the scripture for me, so no, without further ado.
And that is why today I am announcing this government will make a new free of charge digital ID mandatory for the right to work. But
for those that can't understand the British accent, mandatory means mandatory. It's going to be mandated. You will have to have it in order to work there.
The end of this parliament. Let me spell that out. You will not be able to work in the United Kingdom if you do not have digital ID. It's as simple as that.
British civil rights activist Emily Emanuel joins us now. So Emily, what was your reaction to Starmer's announcement?
So it's a civil rights issue, meaning human beings, everybody wants civil means basically the right to live, right? The right, the same basic rights as everybody else. This is a civil rights issue.
Well, really, truly, completely shocked, but also not surprised. Keir Starmer has been a terrible, terrible prime minister right from the beginning. And I've never seen actually the UK population in such uproar against a prime minister.
The guy's already hated. And this is a measure. Now, mind you, when have you ever heard about illegal immigrants to UK? And who are the illegal immigrants to the UK? Mostly, definitely a lot of Jakes come from Jamaica, West Indian Islands, Africa. I seriously doubt that French and British people don't even like each other. So I seriously doubt it's a lot of French people in the UK.
The time that I can remember anyway. So
and Arabs too.
Not surprised that he's trying to pull something out of the bag that will try and get him some popular votes, although it's...
Pull something out the bag. What bag? The prophecy bag. This is biblical prophecy.
Probably going to be completely the opposite. And if you didn't see, or I don't know if you've touched on this already, but there was a march a couple of weeks ago that had over 1 million people come along to it, which was in protest of these things that he's implementing and the state of the UK is at the moment with illegal immigration, with just this high kind of control of government. And so there's almost like a revolution going on in the ground in the UK at the moment, because people are just sick and tired of these policies that he's implementing.
Well, what's interesting is, obviously he made this announcement and he painted it in a way that this would help curb illegal immigration. But a lot of people online are saying, wait a second, you're saying these digital IDs where you won't be able to, buy or sell, sounds a lot like what we hear in Revelation 13 when it comes to the mark of the beast.
Revelation 13 and 16.
To that. So let me just read what the Bible actually says about that, and then you can draw the dots together.
Look at that. Even people in the world, people that are not in the faith and may not be Israel, know that the C-HIP is the MOTB. And know the scripture too. And he says other people know this.
If you think they fit. It also forced all people, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name.
So right now, what can you not buy or sell with? You can't buy or sell without money. In many places, you can't buy or sell without a way to receive money. So in other words, let's say I have a cash only business and somebody comes to me and says, I only have a credit card. You can't make that sale. You know, in my business, you know, right now we accept we have limits of what we can accept. Some companies don't even accept American Express. So this is deep.
And the next verse says, "This calls for wisdom." So it does. I mean, it does seem like a precursor, right? You cannot work without said digital ID. Obviously, I will let you, my friend who's watching this, connect the dots if you think that they are there. But Emily, can you just maybe peel back the onion a little bit more? What's kind of the sentiment of British folks when it comes to this illegal immigration? Obviously, he says this digital ID, Freudian slip.
Notice he said Freudian slip, and he said the word mark again, because he's thinking it's in his mind that this digital ID is the MOTB.
Is intended to curb illegal immigration. But what's the status like of the British people's mentality when it comes to the current state of affairs when it comes to immigration?
Well, first of all, I find it incredibly hard to believe that this digital ID has anything to do.
Right now, I swear, I thought she was about to say the MOTB. I thought she was going to say that this digital ID doesn't have anything to do with the MOTB. But look what she actually says.
With illegal immigration, because
so that means she's not.
I have had a job in the
That means she's not taking off the table that it could be the MOTB.
UK many times. I've had to show my social security number and my passport. So I've had to prove my right to work in the UK. So this doesn't make sense that we need a digital ID to prove our right to work in the UK when we already have systems in place that allow us to do so. Now, many of these illegal immigrant workers, and I've known some when I've lived in the UK, they don't work normal jobs. They work cash-in-hand jobs. So, you don't actually have to go through the system and pay taxes and all that kind of stuff.
So yeah, there you have it. There you have it. Digital ID, digital currency, everything's digital. So it's one more step towards the MOTB, and I want to point out, me being in this truth a certain amount of time before YouTube, that the elders of Great Millstone are the first ones to bring out this information. And it's not to gloat, but I want y'all to understand, because there's a lot of Israelite groups, and I don't knock any Israelite groups unless they on some bullshit, but I just want that to be known and understood, because there was a time when majority of Israelites, and still to this day, most Israelites aren't teaching that. But y'all better get on the right side of history here and teach the truth. But with that, I'm gonna say shalom.